What's up, Lock family? What's popping? What's happening? Happy, what is it today? Happy Winning Wednesday. Go win. Go do the things that you said you were going to do. Happy Transformation Wednesday. It is not Transformation Wednesday, but it is Transformation Wednesday. So go win and go transform. And Lock Fam Kingdom Diaries is live. So we're going to be here today. We're going to be talking to you this morning like we always do. Discipline over motivation. Discipline over motivation. So don't be motivated. Be motivated, but be disciplined. Okay. Be motivated. Just so you know that motivation doesn't last. Discipline lasts more. So we're here to remind you every morning that it's never too late. Okay. It's never too late. It is never too late. You can be who you want it to be. And no matter whether you're 40, 50, 60, you can still do the things that you said you wanted to do when you were 20 years old. You can still change your life around. It is never too late. Where you going?
You already know.
Bro. This guy.
You got it.
It is never too late. Do you want me to start without you? Or you said I got it? Okay. Well, as I was saying, you guys, I just had my oatmeal and just did my morning routine. And I've been feeling so tired lately. I don't know if it's because it's cold and I feel like it's about to snow because the little snow is coming down. So it's freezing. It's super freezing. So yeah. What was I going to say? I was going to say today we're going to be talking about how to build confidence in kids through faith and encouragement. So how do we do that to our kids? How are we building confidence to our kids, right? How do we see that? How did we put it together? That's what we're going to be talking about today. Because it's very important that your kids don't get lost in the sauce, and it's very important that your kids always know to respect you, so they know the 10 commandments from the Bible. It's always important that you put your kids first, right? Not that you put yourself last, but you put your kids first in certain circumstances. Yes. Sorry, guys. I am African, so I'm going to be going through this English thing like this, okay? All right. Well, we're going to be talking about building confidence in kids through faith and encouragement. Number one, teach them their identity in God. So we have our daughter reading 10 commandments every morning before she goes to school or whenever she wakes up if she doesn't have school. It helps kids understand they are fearfully and wonderfully made. That is, you're going to get that in Psalm chapter 139, verse 14. Verse 14. What was I saying? Installing their worth. You install their worth in God's love, building strong foundation for self-confidence. Hello, what's up? What's popping? Hey, everyone. Oh, my God. Look at the room is full today. Yes, that's what we're going to be talking about, how to build confidence in our kids, okay? So number two, I'm going to leave the two for you, babe, okay?
All right.
Number two, encourage them to pray and trust in God. So how we do this? By doing it ourselves. So you have to pray, and you have to believe in God, and you have to trust in God all the time. You have to lead by example, right? Lead by example. So encourage them to pray and to trust in God. Teach them to rely on God through prayer. Help them develop faith in His plan. So they got to know His plan so that they can be able to develop faith, because they can't do it if, hello, what's up, you guys? They can't do it if they don't know the plan. They don't know God's plan. What are they going to be trusting in? And then what else? When they see God's answering prayers, they are confident in themselves and their ability to grow. So they will grow more if they see God is answering my prayers. I just asked for this, and now this is happening. So that's like a wow moment. This is true. Hello.
What up, though? Hello, everybody. Sunny Bunani.
All right, Sunny Bonani.
Sunny Bonani. Alright?
Yes. That's Zulu, if you don't know.
If you don't know what it
If you
is,
don't know, it is Zulu.
yeah.
Yes.
Oh, I'm sorry. You was
We speak English and Zulu. Oh no, I was on number 2. You take over number 3 and number 4. Okay.
Take over number 3 and number 4.
Yes.
Okay. Are you finished with number 1?
With number 2, I was on number 2.
Oh, you was on number 2.
Yeah, like I was saying that if your kids see God answering their prayers, they get more confident because now it's like, oh, this is true, you know. This is really true. Now they can have like powerful or more faith in God.
Yeah.
And that's how you build it, and that's how you build confidence by affirmations, which is going to be number 3, and you're going to speak more about it, babe.
Okay, so with number 3, speak life and affirmations over them, right? Bless them, acknowledge them when they're out of character.
Yeah.
And so what that means is words have powers, right? Whatever you speak into existence, whatever you focus on, energy connects to. Where attention goes, energy flows, right? So encourage them daily with positivity and affirmations rooted in scripture.
Right.
This AM, our daughter woke up and she was having this kind of energy, complaining about this and complaining about that. And what I noticed was like she had this kind of demeanor happening. So I was like, yo, God gave me the message. Here, read these 10 commandments. Because normally her what I have her on a set mission in her daily routine is supposed to wake up and she's supposed to read the 10 commandments. Now I have 2 versions that I downloaded from Pinterest, right? Yeah. That's for a kid's version, right? And it gives her insight. And I read them both and I was going through the list that they had. And I was like, these 2 are good. These 2 are good enough to get the concept clearly across. And by them being 2, one explains it a little differently than the other one. Hey, everybody. Thank you guys for dropping in. Thank you guys for saying hey. Thank you guys for sharing the energy. Thank you guys for being present. And thank you guys for collecting this message today.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm subscribed. Gratitude and appreciation. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing.
We haven't did this for a very long time.
We haven't. But with that being said, as I got her to read the affirmation, and I told her to read it out loud because I was getting dressed. And I was like, you got to read it out loud. I need to hear you from the back room, right? And so she got to a certain point where it was like, treat people with kindness. I forgot how it goes. It was like, treat people with kindness and with your words and your actions, right? And I was like, stop. I was like, re-say that one more time. Just to get her aware of what she was doing. And also, too, these 10 commandments are also I'm just planting a seed, right? Mm-hmm. She's only 6.
She wasn't being kind to the dog.
She wasn't being kind to the dog. We got a little puppy.
The dog coming in her
room. And it's like, where is that coming from? Like, you was all in the dog face when we first got it. I couldn't get you to get out the dog face. And now you're just being a little snob, right? And I was like, no, don't do that. I just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. So I had to make her self-aware. Thank you so much. I had to make her self-aware of what she was doing, right? Her actions. Like, why are you acting like that? And I don't have all the words for you at this moment. Like, dealing with my daughter, I don't have all the words for you right now because I got to get dressed. But I need you to read these affirmations so you can see, right? And I'm getting her pre-programmed subconsciously with the Word of God, right? And so she has some foundation in the world. Because number one, I don't want her to be of the world, right? I know she's going to be in it. I know she's around kids and stuff like that. But at least she'll have some foundation with going into the world. You see what I'm saying? And going into the world could be like, I remember I was teaching this group of kids so I'm a hip-hop teacher. I teach hip-hop dance and stuff like that, right? And I remember going into this school for one of the after-school programs. And this kid came in. I don't know if you guys know about that show called Big Mouth, right? It's about kids and it says, hey, can I please have a shout out? I subscribed
shout out to
again.
Sandy Thomas.
Thank you, Sandy Thomas.
Thank you for subscribing.
Sandy Thomas.
Thank you for subscribing.
All right, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing, Sandy Thomas. All right, this is age. I subscribed ages ago. Oh, never seen you. Oh, okay, yeah. What? We've been here. We've been here every day, 7, 8 a.m.
Monday to Friday.
Monday through Friday. And we be dropping the contents every day for y'all. It's over there. Anyways,
it's over there.
with that being said, yeah. So I'm teaching these kids, man. I come in, this kid has the shirt on, the Big Mouth shirt, or the show called Big Mouth, and it's not for kids. It's a cartoon, but it's not for kids. It's about puberty, and they have the hormone monster and a whole bunch of stuff that they shouldn't be watching. Long story short, right? And so I asked the kid, I'm like, yo, like, you rocking this shirt? Like, you watch this show? And he was like, yeah, that's my favorite show. And I was like, bro, like, where's the parents, man? Like, I'm sad for you because you're going to come to school with this information and you're going to be doing stuff that you're not supposed to be doing. And you're going to be playing and you're going to be bringing that stuff from the show into the school because you are what you watch, right? That's what the whole point of program is. Program.
Sandy says, what?
I live in the UK.
Though, so there is time differences. Time differences. So when it's night for you, it's day for me. What time is it right now?
It's night.
Somebody said, "Oh no."
Oh no! It says someone broke my. Oh no! Oh my God! Call the cops. Oh, hold on. I'm about to. I'll be on my way, Captain Saber. Nah, but yeah, man. And so, long story short, we can't help. You know, we can't help. I wish I had powers. I could teleport if you want me to. You know, I could do that. It says it's like
2 a.m.
in the afternoon.
In the afternoon. Me.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not too bad.
Not too bad.
Yeah. On in South Africa, it's
4. It's 4:15.
In South Africa.
4 p.m. 4:15 p.m.
So yeah. So long story short, man, lay down the foundations. If you don't have principles, values, and understanding in life, you're not going to be able to pass down wealth.
Yeah.
Right? Wealth starts from the mind. Wealth is a mindset. And with that being said, you got to acquire the information and knowledge and the wisdom and understanding so you can be able to articulate and also explain to them and also plant the seeds within their mindset so they are not being influenced by the world, but being influenced by you, right? Through the power of God. And I feel like that's the major one right there for me, yo. And it says, such as the scripture, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me, right? Knowing that you're not doing it all by yourself, knowing that you're being dependent on the kingdom and being backed up by the government, right? And the government means the kingdom of heaven, right? Because you're dealing with a king and a kingdom, and you're dealing with his royal family, which is us. Yeah. Right? So you acknowledging these things and you understand that when you are trying to take on the world and you're trying to do so much, this is where that heaviness comes from. This is where life starts to beat you down. This is where you feel like you are too dependent, right? And then you have to figure out how to pay the bills, and so you're stressing. Basically, you have no assistance. You have no help. Yeah. Right? And there's a different feeling. There's a lot of people who feel like that. There's a lot of people who feel like that. And I feel like when I started to be vulnerable and submissive to God, that's where it was very hard for me as a male because in the environments that I was cultivated in, it was no vulnerability. It was no what did I say? Vulnerability and what? Submissiveness.
Sorry,
it was no submissiveness.
Good morning. Grand Rising.
There was no submissiveness or vulnerability in my neck of the woods. Right? I'm from heaven. I'm from heaven.
You said in your what?
In my neck of the woods.
What's that?
Neck of the woods meaning neighborhood.
Oh, oh my God.
That's so many phrases in it. Welcome to America. Yeah. But yeah, long story short, yeah, it was none of that, right? I did experience the vulnerability and submissiveness from my father, right? Like, cause my dad was a pretty dope dad. He was cold. He was awesome, right? And so in saying that, he instilled these things in me and me understanding the value of appreciating the father who was actually there to cultivate you, who was actually there to be in your life, right? Yeah. And so when he passed away, he had already instilled what God needed from me in order for God to do works through me because he gifted me and gifted us willpower so we could turn away from him anytime. Right? And so appreciating that, right? And what did he say? He says, we got I'm brave.
Don't
I'm a
read the
fight.
last one.
Okay. Snack fight. This guy more
Da,
restriction.
da, 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 da. Did you do number 4 already?
No. Number
Not
4
yet.
is you already. Okay. So number 4 is celebrate.
Effort, not just success.
Yeah. Celebrate effort, not just success. Right. It says encourage perseverance by praising their efforts rather than just their achievements, right? You want to acknowledge them where they are. Like,
Yeah.
my daughter was having a hard time putting on her hoodie and she wanted help. And I'm like, yo, you got this. Like, I don't need to help you. Mommy don't need to help you physically figure this out. All you
Yeah.
need to do is roll this up here, boom, 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 stick your head in, and then you're in, right?
Yeah.
And she put the hoodie on and then I said, you're being super dramatic right now. Like, you're doing too much. You need to chill out and you need to figure out strategically how you need to get this hoodie on.
Yeah.
Right? And so I never had to help her physically, but in the midst of while she was doing it, I was encouraging her, right? And then when she finished it, then I gave her a cheat. I was like, yo, that's what's up. Like you did that, right? High five. Don't be so don't be so ready to give up and get help all the time.
Yeah.
Try to figure it out. I like what Miles Monroe Jr. said to what Dr. Miles Monroe said to Miles Monroe Jr. It was he was explaining yesterday when we was listening to him. He was talking about how when he would have a problem or anything, he would ask his dad like how could he solve it, and his dad, he said, a lot of the times he never gave him an answer. Right? Because he was installing him to figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? He didn't want to just give him the answer. He wanted him to, so he would ask him continuous of questions. Right? Instead of just giving him the answer.
That's what my dad did too.
Yeah. So I gotta respect that.
Yeah. I feel like asking questions. He had a lot of questions to ask, and he always called meetings. And in the meetings, when somebody did something wrong, like let me say we in the midst of being disciplined, you know, like maybe my sister did something, so she's the one who's in trouble, but she'll call all of us and he's gonna want to know what exactly we can do in this situation. What can we do? How can we solve this problem? Or so on and so forth. It was irritating, to be honest. Growing up, it was like I just don't want to sit there and for an hour. You have to sit there for an hour or 2 hours sometimes, because if one person don't have the answer and one person don't want to say something, you're gonna have to wait. You're gonna have to wait for that person. We're gonna have to come back to that person. Yeah. So it was just like irritating, to be honest, but it taught me a lot, because I am here today, and I feel like every time I come across something, I remember those days. I'm like, my dad used to say this. My dad used to say this.
Batman.
Did you just make a Grinch smile?
The Batman
is
but
bad.
He was instilling a lot of good values in y'all, but making you figure it out. So therefore, that's why I feel like that comes in handy at you don't always want to give them the answers, because then they are relying more on you than their capacity and their abilities. Yeah. Right? It just sounds like me growing up. I never had anyone to help me with my homework, but my parents looked at me wrong for not helping my son
with his homework.
Ain't nothing about it. But like, y'all never even helped me. I can't believe this.
But not all the time, right? You'll let me.
They don't even be paying attention to what they did in the past. They forgot all about that stuff.
They forgot.
Okay, yeah, but so let me finish up with this one. It says celebrate efforts, not just successes. It says this builds resilience and confidence, teaching them that growth comes from trusting God and trying again, right? Right, trusting. And when we say like trusting yourself, we also saying trusting God, right? Because you got to have a mindset of I can do this. It starts with the affirmations. Yesterday was a lecture on self-love, right? And then resembling and giving you ideas on what self-love is. Also, too, with people get in relationships who don't have self-love, and then you get with another person who don't have self-love, so there is no love, then nobody's loving nobody, right? And so it was a lot. It was like, but when you have self-love, then you're able to love yourself even if the other person don't love you, but you love yourself
Right.
and you able to love them because you love yourself. Because
Yeah.
even if the other person don't love themselves and they can't love you, but you still love yourself and you're able to love them, so you're able to demonstrate. And I was like, dog, chill out. It was real though. But he's like, get the tape, make sure you buy it. he was dropping the gems though. But it made so much sense though, because you do have a lot of people who get in relationships who don't love themselves. And why does this matter? Because it's like they haven't been demonstrated, let alone the practice of loving oneself. So therefore, how can you love somebody else if you don't love yourself? How can you love God if you don't love yourself? How can you express what love is if you're not being exposed to it?
Right.
Let alone understanding, being a seeker and a scholar of how do I love? What does love look like? Asking the right questions, right? Asking these questions. Why are you asking these questions? All these questions.
To the beautiful Lock fam.
Thank
Hey,
you,
Mama. Hey.
Grand Masterful Rich
Welcome
Rising.
back.
Thank you so much. Love the energy. Turn up.
And then Jay said, "Wow."
Yeah, wow, exactly, yo. I love when they come in, when our people come in like that, when Lock fam come in like that. Lock fam kingdom, when Lock fam kingdom come in the building like that, be like, dang, dog, that's the culture God wants. Is that what heaven looks like? Is that the culture of heaven? Like, that's a glimpse.
Look at you.
We getting somewhere. Getting somewhere. But long story short, the conversation of today and the title for today is about raising confidence through the faith and encouragement of children, right?
Yeah.
Install these habits first within yourself. That way you're able to become aware and be able to have the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding to share with them. What'd you say?
Bro, you was dropping jewels.
Man, because I noticed that it's a lot of brothers out here who are wanting to get in relationships and they're getting the backlash of what we as ignorant men, and I want to say we because I was a part of that, right?
Yeah.
What we as ignorant men have installed in some women, right? So this is mindset that's going global in a way because of hip hop music and stuff like that, where women are starting to act like the traits of men, right?
Ooh.
Which is out here on that thought stuff, right? Shalom, peace, brother, peace. And I noticed that there's a lot of dudes who are like, yo, I'm looking for a relationship, da-da-da. And then you got the girls that cheating or talking to multiple dudes. And I'm like, dang, bro, the tables have turned.
Yeah.
But at the same time, these dudes are trying to be out here on the loving mission and not even loving themselves. How you going to try to put all your love in a girl that you ain't even loving yourself? Right? There's levels of it. Because number one, you're not connected with God. You trying to chase a physical aspect of a woman who not even connected with God.
Yeah.
Because you're not connected with God. So you're not even going to magnify, let alone attract, let alone use the law of attraction to pull in a like-minded individual. Right? You attracting where you at. You attracting a level-headed of where you at. So you can't get mad that this person is doing what they're doing, especially when you're not tapped in, tuned in, turned on. Because if you were tapped in, tuned in, turned on, you would only attract what you are. Right? And so they're not even conscious aware of it. They're just trying to attract something. I guess it's to avoid the alone time with oneself, because it does take a lot of time to be alone with yourself. Yeah. It takes a lot of effort to be alone with yourself for long periods of time and really ask yourself and question yourself, because you're not being impressed and entertained by anyone outside yourself.
Right.
Boy, I'm dropping it. That's a heavy one today. That's a heavy one today. Dang. That's because I have experience too, right? It was this experience, man. I had to be alone a lot of the times. And there was a lot of times I didn't want to be alone. I was like, deep, girl, what you doing? You know what I'm saying? Come slide through.
Crazy.
But like...
Oh, okay, we have comments.
We got comments? Go ahead, Ted.
You also You also are fighting with someone's childhood.
Absolutely.
Trauma.
Absolutely.
The reason why I'm so full of spiritual is because I learned at a very young age.
And that's why we're saying what we're saying right now. Instilling the principles, laws, and understanding of God's kingdom in our children now, right? Because when they get older, you can go out in the world. That's why I said there's a scripture that talk about, like, don't worry about your children once they get older. If you did what you needed to do when they were young, let them go out, experience the world, and let them and know and have faith. No, having faith means believe, right? It means belief, meaning like you have a certain amount of emotions of belief that you know that you did what you needed to do, and everything else is on God.
Yeah.
Everything else is you got it this way, God. Everything I quit I put the engine in. I made sure all the oils was changed. You know what I'm saying? I made sure it was a full tank of gas. Like everything's Gucci. I vacuumed the inside. Like
Right.
I gave it a car wash. You know what I'm saying? And I sent it on its merry way. Everything else is up to the rest of the world, right?
That's
And
right.
that's what it is. It's like, yo, as long as it's instilled now, because now is really what really matters. Now is where you impress upon their subconscious. Because the goal, when God is talking about heart, right? Oh, love me with all thy heart, right? He's talking about not physically your heart. He's talking what's connected physically to your heart. Does anybody know in the chat?
Spirit.
No. What's connected
Oh, did
physically?
he just say no to
I did.
me?
I did. What's connected to the heart outside of your heart? What is God talking about? Does anybody know in the chats? I'm gonna count down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No, nobody knows. Okay, let me tell you. What's connected to the heart, it says your actions. No. What's connected to the heart is your subconscious mind.
Bro.
Right? Your subconscious mind. This is why I'll tell you why why is this connected to the heart. Your soul is not connected. Well, yes it is, but I mean per se what God's talking about. He's not talking about your soul. And in order to get to your soul, you have to go through the subconscious mind. Hence, if you understand and you do research, I don't know if you guys have the time, or if you get some time, look up on YouTube how much the industry has, invested in understanding how to program people, right? They understand the conscious mind, which is the present moment, and the subconscious mind, which is the back thought, which is the programming, right? Hence why they play commercials. All right, water boy. No, but
everything is.
This is why they play things on repeat, because they know they are programmed. It takes only a certain amount of time and a certain amount of repetition for something to stick to the subconscious mind. That's why they say you can reprogram your mind within 21 days. You can change old habits within 21 days, right? If you continuously do the same rep and repetition of the same thing over and over every single day for 21 days, right? They understand the cheat code. They've spent hundreds of billions of trillions of dollars on this concept, right? And they understand if they can get to your subconscious mind, then they can get to your soul and they can get to your actions. Right. So I followed up. I don't know if y'all saw that, but I followed up with the answers that was in there, right? But it takes the subconscious mind to be programmed first. If I drop that this sandwich is delicious and you can get it for $3.99, you know what I'm saying, with a fry and a drink, and I keep telling you it's over and over and over. The day you get hungry, guess what? You got the thought first. Thought is what drives action, right? And as soon as action, then now as soon as your action comes into play, now your soul is attached, and your soul is more of an emotional base. That's why they attach your soul as the childlike version of yourself. That's why they say your soul can be easily manipulated, right? Because it's so like childlike, right? It's a child formatation. And that's why when you are cultivating your subconscious mind, the goal is to get your soul to interact with the spirit, because they are two separate, right? The spirit is in alignment with Christ. The spirit is in alignment with the flow state, higher conscious. I know it's 31. But yeah, this is what the goal is to align your soul with the spirit.
Soul ties after a breakup.
Yes. That exists. This is why there's a quote that says, if you hang around the most 5 people of your life, within 10 years you'll become versions of them. So soul ties, especially if you're
10 years, within 5.
Within 5 years, 3 years.
For me, it's so like simple.
Yeah. And so if y'all intercoursing, obviously it's going to be even faster process. Right? You're bringing on, it's a very vulnerable state that you're in, right? It's a very personal thing. So you open up yourself to these things, right? You can have disconnected sex, right? Or a disconnected intimacy, but it's one and the same. You can tell the difference when you have connected versus non-connected. But even still, then the action in itself is a very vulnerable state.
Okay, soul ties are blah blah blah. Definitely real. That is why choosing someone is important to be self-conscious with the help of God, I think.
Right.
Or with the help of God.
Yes. This is also what Jesus, somebody said everything is connected. This is also what Jesus was demonstrating to the disciples, right? Christ was demonstrating to the disciples that with the power that Adam had, which was the government, aka the Holy Spirit, aka dominion, right? Let me wrap this up because we're going over time right now. We're supposed to be sliding out a little bit early today to work on some stuff for y'all. But with that being said, this is what Christ was demonstrating, right? Everything is connected to a certain degree. That's why we are supposed to have dominion by connecting with the kingdom of heaven, right? Kingdom of heaven is not for us to hurry up and rush to get to heaven. The kingdom of heaven is in heaven, and God wanted us to have dominion, which is take over this land to spread the territory of the kingdom of heaven on earth, right? Any king wants to expand their kingdom. This is the goal of God, right? So in saying that everything is connected, when he demonstrated, when Jesus demonstrated to us dominion, like for instance, Jesus walked up to the tree and he was like, "Yo, what's the fruit?" And the tree was like, "I had a fruit." He was like, "Die," right? You're unproductive. You're unfruitful. Right. So why are we dealing? You're not here anymore. You need to go, right? So he was demonstrating that everything is connected to, even verbally, right? But you can demand and have dominion over these things and demonstrate what that was. The disciples talking about this technique of catching fish, and he like, "Yo, there ain't no technique. Let me show you." He went to the other side of the river, demonstrated to you where you normally don't catch fish, spoke into the water, told the fish, jump in to the damn net, jump in the net. Right. And demonstrated to you right there. Everything is connected, but we are the source of that being connected, right? He created the environment. God created the environment first for us to inhabit, right? But he had to create. When you create a product, you have to create when you're creating a product, you have to then make sure that the product is able to survive in the environment. Hence why people talk about, I'm gonna finish on this, babe. I swear, probably. Hence why people talk about finding problems, right? This is the moneymaker. Finding problems in the world and coming up with solutions, right? But you finding a problem in the environment, and then you coming up with a solution within the environment for it to thrive in. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Right? So everything is connected, but for a reason. It's not more of like, it's not saying that God is in everything, right? God is his own individual, but he did put it's like when you draw a canvas and you give your painting away, a piece of you are there, but you're not in it. Yeah. Because you're too divine to be in this thing. You just have your essence. So if I draw something for you and give 20 people this drawing, right? You guys have a piece of me, but I'm not in it, right? You have a version, you have a piece of that, right? You have a piece of that energy in it, right? Because that's the artistry of it. Yeah. Right? I left you with something to see the evidence of creation. Right. And that's all I have to say about that. Now, you want to hit this last part of the description? No. We need to hit it? No. Yay, that's good. Did you read
Yes, I did.
Soul ties.
That was the last one.
Yo, I appreciate you guys.
Soul ties are definitely real.
Yes, they are.
Yeah. She was answering the top.
The top, yes. Okay. And then, yes.
I had to hit that subscribe, y'all. Thank you for subscribing.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, though. Praise to the Most High. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for subscribing. We appreciate you guys for actually smashing that like button. Definitely throwing us in the algorithm. You know, our goal is to get our watch time up. I don't know. We need to share that, but honestly, we do.
It is, guys. It's going up.
So you guys know too that's what our mission is, and we are about not only freeing up your time, but you are worthy. Not just us. We're worthy. You're worthy as well. Right? It takes effort to do this thing. It takes energy, it takes consistency, and it takes discipline to keep showing up every single day to talk about and find things that God needs us to talk about, right? Today we ain't never brought up a conversation really too much about our daughter and about instilling concepts, but my wife had enough time to think about what we need to talk about and share today and what today's message was from God. So I appreciate you.
Let me answer. You're welcome. We go live Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. Central to 9 a.m. Sometimes 8:30.
Yeah.
Depends on the conversation.
Yeah.
So we here Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. Central.
And then it's got a shout out.
Shout out. What? Shout out, please.
Yeah, Sean.
Okay, Sean. Shout out to Sean.
What is
ready?
that? Kong.
You reading the last name?
Kong Hela? What is that? Kong Hela?
Something like
Kong
that.
Hela. Kong Hela. Kong Hela. Anyways, shout out to Sean O'Congilai!
Said it wrong or said it right. The color code
and
the number code.
Facts. Well, yo, what's today's mathematics? We dropped them already.
Yeah. All right.
So, yeah. Thank you guys for smashing the like button. Definitely go check out the content over here on the other side. You already know where it's at, guys. Smash the like button. If the content that we gave to you today is of value, definitely let us know in our videos that we actually created for y'all too as well. Yeah. We definitely like for you to get some value from those. And then if you haven't subscribed, subscribe. Other than that, peace, blessings, prosperity, success of abundance in your journey in life. Lock Fam Kingdom Diaries, guys. And with that being said, stay locked in. God vibes only. One up.
Peace and love.